mixed bag of different people. While some hail the Apex Court as the epitome of jurisprudence, others feel it has not met expectation. President William Ruto, too, has his word for the judges, whose word is final on matters litigation. Gakuya, if I may just quote the president, he said, he's quoted here on the front page of the Daily Nation, "Stick to your lane," he tells judges. In the inside story, it's even more interesting because it says that the courts should respect manifesto-driven agenda. Yes, it says, he urged the judiciary to exercise restraint, arguing that judicial actions should support the country's shift towards issue-based politics rather than ethnic or personality-driven agendas. The judiciary must consider the place of manifesto-driven governance that citizens vote for. Gakuya, that is a very telling statement because the courts basically deal with legality of matters or lack thereof. It cannot be about simply because a manifesto has been drafted this way or this is a hope I have for this country. Do you agree with this statement by the president that the judiciary needs to stick to its lane? Do you think they had strayed from their lane at any point?
In the morning, let us agree that, in fact, the diviners of the constitutions, of our constitution, thought about it on a very broad way. And by the time they arrived to create three arms of the government, there was a need for that. Remember that this country has been on a line of an imperial president who was a pure dictator and who, whatever decides to be done is what was to be done. And that's the reason why Kenya decided that it should move out of that constitution and migrate to more progressive constitution. And the point in time we are in, let me say we have this Supreme Court, which have served now 12 years. And I can tell you very authoritatively that the first Chief Justice made a very progress of this constitution, and also Maraga did it. And standing firm to protect the constitution, I think is one of the mandates that judiciary should stand for. Constitution can be misused by politicians. Where can Kenyans seek for refuge? If the judiciary is going to buy fear from politically, it is a suicidal. If the judiciary at any single point will lie low and try to suit the interests of the government or the state because of pressure, it can be not goes. One, let us agree that where is the supreme? Where is the sovereignty? The sovereignty stands with the people. The people are the owners of judiciary. The people are the owners of the parliament. The people are the owners of executive. They only delegate power, and they can grab that power and own it direct. That is what our constitution states. And therefore, no single, including the head of state, can force the judiciary the way to go. Their route is well defined by the constitution. Any other roadside instructions is overtaken by that. I would state very clearly that judiciary should stand firm, protect the constitution, and protect the people of Kenya and their properties. And that is what they are supposed to. Let me tell you, Idumuri, do you want to tell us that today is when we are arriving to think that the judiciary is taking the state on a different route? The manifestos of political parties are there. But if the manifestos are not following the constitutional path, then they should be declared unconstitutional.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Okay.
That should be the position.
Bwanahashi, the headline on page 7 of the Standard reads, "Courts should keep off politics and state programs," quoting the president. That would suggest that politics should not be subject to the judiciary. That is off by any standard, Bwanahashi.
Well, in my view, the president is an autocrat. The president doesn't want anyone to interfere with his presiding over our country. He doesn't want any challenge. He wants everything that he says done. He's already captured the National Assembly. You saw the speed with which Mr. Gachagua was thrown out of office. This is just facts on the table where the people of this country can see. And now he's telling the judiciary that if you interfere with my directives, I'm going to do something about it. And I think that the president also should not lie to this country by saying that the manifestos that people elected him on should be followed. The president hasn't followed on his manifesto. The UDA has collapsed. He's betrayed the people from the mountain who elected him. The economy is in shambles. The judiciary and the president are virtually at war. The National Assembly is the most cowardly National Assembly since the independence of Kenya. Just ticking whatever the president was saying they should do. Kenyans are angry at their National Assembly. They're angry at their president. They're angry at their judiciary. They're angry across the board with their government. And I think that the Gen Zs who nearly overthrew the government of this country must, if anybody remembers what happened the other day, I think it's very important for public intellectuals to tell the people of this country the truth, the way it is, unvarnished. Because all our lives depend on our country to be stable, to have the rule of law, to have a separation of powers, and to have an economy that's working. None of those things are happening. The president came in on an agenda of transformation. There is no transformation. What we're transforming is we're coming from mega corruption to imperial corruption. President lied to the people and he said that we're not going to bring ule mtu wa kitandawili into government. Today, Mr. Odinga is prime minister, de facto prime minister in this country. The government cannot